Canada's Prime Minister has drawn a clear line, and this time, it is not subtle. In his first major address back on home soil after Davos, Mark Carney rejected Donald Trump's claim that Canada survives because of the United States. Carney acknowledged decades of partnership on trade, security, and culture, but said that Canada's strength comes from its own choices, not American patronage.
Great powers have begun using economic integration as weapons. Tariffs as leverage, financial infrastructure as coercion, supply chains as vulnerabilities to be exploited. You cannot live within the lie of mutual benefit through integration when integration becomes the source of your subordination.
He spoke from Quebec City, inside a 19th century military fortress built to defend Canada from invasion. The symbolism was hard to miss. Carney's remarks followed a sharp exchange at the World Economic Forum. At Davos, Carney warned that the post-war global order is breaking down. He said the old assumption that geography and alliances automatically guarantee safety no longer holds. He urged middle powers to stop pretending integration always works in their favor, warning that economic ties are now being used as leverage. Trump took it personally. From the same stage, the U.S. president claimed Canada lives because of the United States and told Carney to remember that.
Canada gets a lot of freebies from us, by the way. They should be grateful also, but they're not. I watched your Prime Minister yesterday. He wasn't so grateful. But they should be grateful to us. Canada lives because of the United States. Remember that, Mark, the next time you make your statements.
Back in Canada, Carney responded directly without naming Trump, saying Canada thrives because it is Canadian.
Canada and the United States have built a remarkable partnership in the economy, in security, and in rich cultural exchange. But Canada doesn't live because of the United States. Canada thrives because we are Canadian.
Washington has yet to secure a new trade deal with Ottawa, and renegotiations of the North American Free Trade Pact are approaching. An agreement Trump has already dismissed as irrelevant. U.S. officials have accused Canada of posturing. United States Secretary of Commerce Howard Lutnick called Carney's Davos speech political noise and warned Canada it risks losing its favored status. Republican lawmakers struck a calmer tone. Several urged Canadians to ignore Trump's comments, calling the dispute a temporary and stressing that cooperation on defense, trade, and critical minerals remains essential. Democrats were less relaxed, warning that openly antagonizing Canada risks weakening intelligence, sharing, and alliance trust. Inside Canada, the impact has been immediate. Trump's comments about annexation, tariffs, and border revisions have triggered a surge in nationalism. Polls show record distrust of the U.S. government and growing concern that American pressure could turn coercive. Travel to the United States has dropped sharply. Canadians are buying fewer U.S. products. Provinces have pulled U.S. liquor from shelves. Carney's political fortunes have risen alongside that shift. After inheriting a party expected to lose power, he won an election by positioning himself as the leader who could stand up to Trump. The unease has even reached Canada's defense planners. According to reports, the Canadian military has modeled a hypothetical U.S. invasion, stressing it remains unlikely, but no longer unthinkable. The assessment found Canada would be overmatched conventionally and would rely on resistance tactics if its alliances collapsed. Officials say the first warning sign would be a breakdown of joint air defense arrangements, a cornerstone of North American security for decades. Veterans have also pushed back hard on Trump's dismissal of NATO allies. Canadian soldiers who fought in Afghanistan say his comments erase real sacrifices, including frontline combat and friendly fire casualties. Tensions escalated further when Trump withdrew Canada's invitation to his newly created Board of Peace. The decision came hours after Carney's Davos speech earned a standing ovation. Trump said Canada was no longer welcome on what he called the most prestigious leadership board ever assembled, a body meant to oversee Gaza's ceasefire and possibly future conflicts. Permanent members are expected to fund the board heavily. Several U.S. allies have already declined to join. Canada's office did not respond publicly. Carney is already recalibrating. He has struck trade deals with China, reduced tariffs on key agricultural exports, and opened the door to Chinese electric vehicles, a move that drew sharp warnings from Washington. Canada is also rebuilding ties with India, the Gulf, and Europe, while fast-tracking domestic trade and major infrastructure projects. Carney says the goal is simple: reduce dependence on a single partner and protect economic sovereignty.